According to Webster's Dictionary, a mentor is a trusted counselor or guide. A local nonprofit organization is in need of mentors. Do you have what it takes to become one of them? All of the details are coming up on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Lauren Lingell. And with me in studio, we have Javon Franks, who is the Regional Director for Big Brothers Big Sisters in Polk County. And I will call you Jay, I promise. And we also have Brian Reeves, who is a Leadership Council member for Big Brothers and Big Sisters in Polk. So wonderful to have both of you here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, tell me a little bit about the organization to share with our viewers.
Okay, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, we're the nation's oldest and largest youth mentoring organization. We've been around since 1904, and since 1970, we've actually been right here in Polk County. And we started off as Big Sisters, and over the years we grew to include Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and reach boys and girls facing adversity. And all of that is built on a foundation of one-to-one mentoring. So that's one big and one little, having fun together, learning together, and giving adults an opportunity to be a positive role model for a child.
And what age groups are we looking at when we say littles or little sisters? Or
the children in our program start out between the ages of 5 and 13, and they can stay in the program until they're 18 or graduate high school.
We're going to get into what it takes to be a big, but let's talk about how littles get involved in this program.
We work with kids of every kind, and adversity or risk means a lot of different things. It may be a child who has lost a parent. It may be a child from a low-income family. It may be a child who's living with both grandparents maybe, or even a military family that may be operating much like a single-parent household because of long deployments.
Sure.
The parents can contact us through our website and click My Child Needs a Big, and they can start the child enrollment process by reaching out to us there.
And you mentioned before the show there's only really one true criteria.
Yes, and that's the kids have to want to be involved. And we know that that can be one of the things is the children need to want to, the children have to want to be involved. That's the one criteria that we ask for, is that not just the families but also the child themselves want to have a mentor involved in their life.
Absolutely, because if mom signs me up for something or dad signs me up for something, it's not like I'm making a choice to be a part of that. So that's wonderful that you have buy-in from the child. So on the other end, I think this is where you come in, Brian. Being a big, how do you go about registering or beginning the process? Or maybe Jay could fill that part in, and then you can tell me about your experience.
Sure. Go ahead.
Well, to become a big, you have to attend one of our orientation sessions, and that's about a 90-minute training. Gives you an opportunity to ask all your questions, learn more about our different programs and what to expect from being a mentor, and see if it's really going to be a fit before making the commitment. And then you fill out your application, and you also have to do a one-to-one interview with one of our staff members. At that time, we generally do our background check, fingerprinting, and screening as well, and there's no cost for any of that. But that's the process, are those three things: the training, completing the application with references, and sitting for that one-to-one interview. And we use all that to get a good idea of who you are, your interest in being a mentor, and then that way we can use that information to partner you with not just any kid, but a little who's really going to be the right child to mentor for you.
And just because that doesn't cost anything for people who are applying to be bigs doesn't mean that it doesn't cost anything. So when you have interested people, that's why it's so important, because you're really investing in them. You're counting on them to be there for these younger younger kids.
Absolutely, and that's very true, that while there is no cost to our volunteers or the families that we serve to participate in our program, we do bear that cost ourselves, and that's one of the reasons why we fundraise and do events and seek grants to help cover those costs. But it's a very important part of our process to not only for child safety, but also to make sure that we're giving a high quality of service to all of our volunteers.
Absolutely. So, Brian, you've been quiet until now. Tell me a little bit about your experience. What made you want to, I mean, gosh, get involved as a big and then be on the leadership council, and just tell me how everything happened.
Sure, absolutely. Relocated here to Florida about 6 years ago. I wanted to give back to my community, and this was one of the forum that I saw fit for me to give back and have a direct impact on kids that are growing up in my community, so to speak. Getting involved with the program, it's so very, I'd say, heartwarming. It's fulfilling for me personally. You never thought that it would be that way. It's kind of cliche to say, hey, you know, I get more out of it than he does. But one of the things that I've seen over the years is the transformation that took place in this particular child's life that I've gotten involved with, for the positive, obviously. He has gone from being disruptive in class to where he has been reading to a smaller grade in his elementary school, and he has been somewhat of a model student over the years. So those are some of the positive impacts that I've seen just by giving 1 hour of my time per week, and I saw that it was way worth the investment on my end.
What was, if you don't mind sharing, what's one of the coolest things that you got to do? You have a little brother, is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What was one of the coolest things the two of you got to do together?
One of the coolest things that we've done is Jay had given us one of those contraptions that you could have bubbles blown through it, you know, just by dipping it into some soap water, and that was very, very engaging with him at the time. You know, it actually blew bubbles that were probably 10 feet or bigger, and he was amazed by just doing that, something as simple as that.
Right.
That was a tremendous impact on him as well, in the positive sense.
And it sounds like you look forward to this time that you spend together, but I do know that for the program there has to be requirements. What are some of the time requirements in spending?
So for the program that Brian is a part of, he's in our site-based mentoring program. That's 1 hour a week for 1 school year. So that program is kind of going on hiatus for the summer, but we're working very hard to build up a great pool of volunteers starting for next school year. And that 1 hour a week is flexible depending on your schedule and what school or after-school location you can attend. And in that hour, you can do any number of things. You can take your little something special for lunch, you can do some reading, or you can play with giant bubbles like Brian did. And so that time is really up to you how you want to shape it from meeting to meeting, and what day and what hour is also something that we can work with you on with the help of our program team. That's that 1 school year commitment really flies by, and most of our volunteers stick around usually longer than that. Our community-based program, which a lot of volunteers like, is 8 hours a month for 15 months. And in that, you pick up your little brother or sister from their home and then go out and do something in the community. So that's why we call it community-based, but you get to decide when, where, and what you do. So that's usually 2 to 3 outings a month. And it can be something very simple as like going to the grocery store together, or you're getting your oil changed, or you just want to go walk your dog at the park. Or you can take advantage of one of our partnerships with Bach Tower or Auburndale Speedway, where we get free tickets or discounted access, and you can enjoy a day at the races or a day out at the tower.
Do you feel like that hour or however much time that you spend with your little brother, is it like kind of effortless, or, you know, because some people, what holds them back is, oh, I'm going to have to do this. Like, you know, they're not going to want to. People are just kind of bad sometimes. So how is that? Is it just a part of your schedule and it just fits in as like, hey, I'm going to hang out?
Absolutely. Every Thursday between 1:30 to 2:30, I block that time out. Even if a client wants to meet with me, I tell them, I have another appointment at that particular time, because he looks forward to it as well as I do, to that particular time, spending time together, even if it's from an academical standpoint, me going over homework or a few math work or a reading project with him or so. But for me, it's definitely fulfilling. On his end, absolutely. I've seen the improvement. I've seen the impact firsthand. It's almost like I'm at ground zero, seeing the worst end of it from the child behavioral standpoint to having him being a model student in school. So I've seen the impact firsthand.
So what would you say to someone who's kind of toying with the idea of, maybe I should do this. Maybe this is for me.
Absolutely. I'd say jump in with both feet. It's so rewarding. It's unbelievable. You might be apprehensive in the beginning, not knowing what to expect, but as the months and the years goes by, you'll have that sense of gratification, seeing the positive side of what you personally put into that child or pour into him or her. With that child becoming a better behavioral or model student in school. So definitely I'd say, don't hesitate, jump on in with both feet, and you'll reap the rewards from a personal end. Yeah.
We are running out of time, but real quick, tell me a little bit about your Leadership Council.
Our Leadership Council is a group of folks, some of which, like Brian, are current volunteers, big brothers or big sisters. Some of them are folks who just love our organization and want to continue to help us grow and have a strong presence in the community. But we meet monthly, usually someplace in Lakeland or Winter Haven at a restaurant or someplace fun, and we socialize, we network, we hear from other organizations in the community. But and they also help us in three very important ways. They help us raise more money to support the great work that we do. They help us recruit volunteers, and that's always our need. We need one adult for every child we want to help. And they help us just have a strong presence in the community. Polk County is incredibly generous, but it's also a community where people want to know who they're working with. And when people see and hear the name Big Brothers, Big Sisters, we want them to know that we've been here for a very long time, and we enjoy serving all parts of Polk County.
We've got a few dates, one in particular that people can come out and really begin the mentor process. And you were telling me if that date doesn't fit a particular schedule, there are others available.
Yes, our Be an Awesome Mentor orientation is the perfect way for you to get started. One, it's required for all of our potential volunteers to attend one of those orientation sessions, but it gives them that chance to ask their questions and find out more about us. And we do one just about every other week or so, someplace across the community. So our schedule is always listed on our website, and they can always reach out to me directly or give our office a call here in Lakeland and let us know that they'd like to get involved, and we can put them on our mailing list so they get the dates as they come out.
All right, so we gave these folks a lot of things to look at if they want to get involved with Big Brothers and Big Sisters on a council level, on a mentor level, on a donor level, on a volunteer level, whatever it is. So there's lots to do. Well, thank you very much for coming out and talking with me. I enjoyed it, and hopefully you'll come back and tell us more. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Tampa Bay invites you to become an awesome mentor. Orientation is held at Big Brothers Big Sisters Lakeland, located at 1231 East Orange Street in Lakeland. The training is free. For more information, you can check them out on the web at www.bbbstampabay.org, or you can give them a call at 863-682-5191.